Okay, so good morning everyone. Welcome back to the lecture series on network theory. This is lecture number 15, module number 2. Okay. So the content we discussed in the last lecture are about the introduction to theorems. So why we require theorems and all I have discussed. And in that I have discussed specifically about superposition theorem, reciprocity theorem and Millman's theorem. Okay. And just to have a overview of these three theorems, and as a part of today's lecture, we will be discussing on I am taking few problems based on superposition theorem and reciprocity theorem. Okay. Now, if you take superposition theorem, the concept is very clear. That is, if you have a circuit, so within that circuit you may be having n number of sources. Okay. So within those n number of sources, you have to keep each source individually as active and take the result. So if there are three sources, you have to take you have to analyze the circuit 3 times and add the three results, you will get the final result. So that is the superposition theorem. Okay. And if we take reciprocity theorem, so what we do in reciprocity theorem? So first, with the given circuit, we take up the required output for the given input. Then we interchange the input and output positions. And again, we take the input from other side where output was there earlier. And now we verify whether the result will remain same or no. So that is about the reciprocity theorem. And if we take Millman's theorem, so there what you can do, if you have n number of parallel voltage sources along with their internal series resistance connected, so you can convert them all those n number of parallelly connected voltage sources including their internal impedance to a single network having a voltage source called as Millman voltage in series with Millman impedance represented by Zm Rm. Okay. So now we will take up a few problems based on superposition theorem and reciprocity theorem in today's class. So just to uh, take you to the actual problems. So first let us consider the few things, few requirements here. That is, what we require is first thing is, if you are solving a circuit, if you are solving a circuit by using superposition theorem, so if you are solving a circuit by superposition theorem, so first thing what we do is, we consider one source, we consider only one source as active. Okay. Okay, again this thing is coming over here. Okay, just okay. Okay. Okay, so if you have the superposition theorem, if you are using superposition theorem, okay, fine. So then what we do is, we will consider one source, we should consider only one source acting alone, right? So if only one source is acting alone, that means what we do, if you have n number of voltage sources, and if you want to make active, or if you want to make only one voltage source as active, then other voltage sources should be made as zero. That means voltage sources which are not required, they will be short circuited. And similarly, if you have the current source. So there current source, how to make it 0? By open circuit. So where that current source is connected, that place will be open circuited. Okay. So this is the thing what we have considered. Okay, let me just adjust few settings here. I think this is interrupting here. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me come out for a while. Okay, now I consider the problem. So now, is it visible for you? Okay. Okay, so now what is the requirement here? See, I have taken few sample problems from the previous year question paper, so which I am going to discuss today. Now, so I have taken 3 superposition theorem based problems and 3 reciprocity theorem based problems. Okay, so let us see we will be able to complete all the 6 problems or not. Okay, so first problem is, so what they have asked is find the voltage V across 3 ohm resistor. So here we have this 3 ohm resistor, and also verify the result using superposition theorem. So if the question is framed like this, what they are asking you, you have to find the voltage across 3 ohm resistor. That means you have to calculate that by using conventional methods. That is either by using KCL, KVL, or source transformation, whichever you feel convenient. So first you have to do that. Then they are asking to verify the result using superposition theorem. So once you conclude the voltage across 3 ohm resistor, then what you have to do, you have to just apply superposition theorem. So first step here. So first step what we are doing, we are calculating, okay, again this stuff is coming. Okay. So first we are calculating the voltage across this 3 ohm resistor. Okay. Okay, is it visible what I am writing? I think this one is disturbing here. Is it okay there for you? If
Yes,
I
sir.
write this part. Okay. Okay. So fine. So first you need to calculate the voltage across 3 ohm resistor. Okay. So how to do that? See, these current directions were not given, that is I1, I2 and I3. So I have assumed them as clockwise currents. Okay. Or what you can do is you can refer the voltage source here, polarity is there. So current should flow from higher polarity to the lower polarity. So in that way, positive to negative. So it is like positive to negative, you can assume. And here also the same thing. And here also the same thing. So you can assume anyway, don't stick to that. You can assume and you can calculate, no issues. Okay. So I1, I2 and I3 I have assumed. So what is our requirement? Our requirement is voltage across 3 ohm resistor. So now first you note or make an observation. What could be the voltage, definition of voltage across 3 ohm resistor? So that can be written as, so here as plus and minus are already mentioned. So according to passive sign convention, current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. So here you have a current, that is current I3, and another current is flowing, that is I2. So just try to make relation with this circuit here. So I2 is flowing like this from right to left, and this is I3 is flowing from left to right. So the convention, according to passive sign convention, I3 is in phase with this. So what we can do, voltage across 3 ohm resistor will be difference between I3 and I2. So this you have to make a note. Suppose in case if both directions are same, so if I consider other case, so other options here. So if you have some resistor X, if both currents are flowing like this in the same direction, something like IA and IB. So if I want to calculate the voltage across this, if you have this same convention, so what you can do, you can V equal to IA plus IB into 3, means sorry, into X, you have to do X resistor. So here what we have, what is the resistance value? It is 3 ohms. So you have to write this. So now first step what you can do is you have to apply the KVL. So I am using KVL as one of my analysis method. So it is not compulsory to use only KVL here. You can use KCL or source transformation, anything, but make sure that you are not disturbing this 3 ohm resistor, because we want to calculate the voltage across these 2 points or nothing but the voltage across 3 ohm resistor. So if you want to do this, then what you have to do, you can even check here, is it possible to apply source shift? Yes, you can apply 2 ampere current, you can take here to here and here to here. Okay, so later you can apply source transformation and all. Okay, so like that you have to think. So whatever method I am telling, only that is not the final solution. You can think about the other methods also. Okay, so now I am using KVL. So if I write KVL to the 3 loops, what I will be getting is these 3 equations, and we observe that in the third loop we have a current source. So I3 will be what? Minus 2 ampere. So wherever I3 appears, you replace it by minus 2 amperes. So it is replaced here. So what you get is the value here as minus 12 for the third equation. So you can use your calculator and you can solve for what now? 2 unknowns, I1 and I2. So once you get I1 and I2, so what I am getting, I1 and I2 here, minus 3.16 minus 3.67. So to calculate voltage across 3 ohm resistor, I have told you what convention you have to use. So I am using that. I3 is already known, that is minus 2 minus of I2. So if you do this, so what you will be getting is V voltage across 3 ohm resistor is 5.01 volts. So this is the conclusion what we are making. Now you need to use superposition theorem. So how to use that superposition theorem now? So we have 3 sources, 6 volt, 18 volt and 2 ampere. So 3 cases are possible now. So you have to consider the network with 6 volt acting alone, 18 volt acting alone and 2 ampere source acting alone. Okay, 3 cases, if you solve you will get 3 result. So those 3 results if you add, so you should get what now? 5.01 volts only. That means the superposition theorem is verified, we can say. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, is that clear now to everyone regarding this?
Yes, sir.
So I request do not hesitate to ask any doubts. They are not going to affect your internal marks. Yes. Okay. So now what I will do is I am considering only one source acting alone. So I have given the description here. So what I told you, the same thing. So what I am assuming, 6 volt is acting alone. So that means here we had current source of 2 amperes that should be made as open circuit. And here we had 18 volt source that should be made as short circuit. So that is done. Here open circuit is there and here short circuit is there. And you can rewrite this, you can modify the view. So while writing like this, what you can do, I have told you earlier classes, you can make some points here, something like x, y for your reference. X is at positive polarity, y is at negative polarity. So keep the voltage source as it is. So 6 ohm is being connected to here, to the center point here. So you connect that 6 ohm here. So what you see here, you see that you can observe that here the current, the 2 ohm resistors and 6 ohm resistor, they are in parallel. So if you calculate the parallel equivalent value, what you will get is 1.5 ohms. 2 into 6 divided by 2 plus 6. Okay. So this is the final network what we are getting. So out of this, what we should get is voltage across 3 ohm resistor. So as a first iteration, I am assuming that voltage across 3 ohm is V prime or V dash. Okay. So how to find this? You can use two methods. First method is, what I can do is, you can calculate the total current in this circuit. Total current will be I equal to V by R, 6 volts divided by total resistance is 1.5 ohms and 3 ohms. So what you will get is 1.33 amperes as the current. And now if you want to know the voltage across 3 ohm, what you have to do? I into R, again I total into 3. So what you will be getting is 4 volts. Okay. Second method is what I may use, voltage division rule. So according to voltage division rule, what you can say, the voltage across a resistor which you want, you take that resistor and multiply it with the main voltage. Main voltage is how much? 6. And divide it by summation of the resistance of the entire network. So here we have only two resistors here. So what we get is 1.5 ohms and 3 ohms. So if you do this, again you will get what? 4 volts. Okay. So if you want to use any other method, you cannot apply source transformation now. Why? Because even though it is possible, but if so, I am telling you the tricks here also. So please make a note of these things. Okay. So case 2. Case 2 is what now? I am considering 18 volt source active. So if 18 volt source is active, so here 6 volt was there. It has been made as short circuit, and current source is now open circuit. And this result, what I am getting, I am assuming it as V double prime or V double dash. So if you do this, you can solve this by two methods. First method, if I take, again you can modify the view. So what you will get, what I told you, as a beginner, you mark here something like AB. So across AB, you have this 3 ohm resistor, and point A is at positive polarity. Okay. And if you take point B, it is open. So how to adjust that? Okay. So if you consider this method here, so what I have done, okay, so this is point B, sorry, and this is point A I have considered. Okay. So what I have done is, I have kept this as it is. Then this 3 ohm, if you take 3 ohm, so that is parallel with 2 ohms, right? So this is positive, point B, point A is negative. So 3 ohm and 2 ohms will come in parallel. Now this 6 ohm resistor is connected to which point? This point is A. So it is connected to A, right? So we can do that. Now what I will take is, see, I have taken the parallel equivalent of 2 and 3. Why I am taking? So if I am interested in calculating the voltage across 3 ohm resistor, so 3 ohm and 2 ohm both are in parallel. So if both are in parallel, voltage drop will remain same, that we know for the parallel elements, right? Yes or no? So you can take the equivalent, what you will get is 1.2. So later with the earlier method what I told, you can calculate the total current and total voltage. So total voltage comes out to be 3 volts. So if you feel this is not little bit complicated method, then you can use this source transformation. So where we can apply source transformation? So we know 3 ohm and 2 ohm, they will come in parallel. If you connect it here, this point and this point are same. So you just flip it. Then I can apply, see here, these two are in series. So I can convert them into what? Equivalent current source having a parallel 6 ohm resistor. Okay. So now what I find is this 6 ohm and 2 ohm, they are in parallel. So that equivalent value I will get it here, right? And now I can use current division method. So according to current division method, if I calculate the current across 3 ohm resistor, again the same thing, resistor multiplied by main current is 1.5, then whole divided by summation of the two, that is 3 plus 1.5. So what you will get is as current as 1 ampere. So once you get the current as 1 ampere, now what will be the voltage across 3 ohm resistor? That will be current through 3 ohm resistor multiplied by 3. Current through 3 ohm resistor is 1 ampere and resistance value is 3. So what you are getting? 3 volts, right? So two methods you can use, or even you can go for KVL or KCL also. Okay, all options are open for you. You can use any option. Similarly, the last case, if you consider, which is the last case now, using the current source. So if you use the current source, then you have to short circuit both voltage sources. So here we had voltage sources, they have been short circuited, right? Now if you modify the view, you will get this circuit. 2 and 6, they are in parallel, right? So if you use them, their equivalent value will come out to be as 1.5. And similarly by current division method, if you apply here, so what we want? Voltage across this. See again, here we have one thing, we have this 3 ohm resistor. So voltage across this I want to calculate, but the main current is approaching like this, and conventions are given like this, right? So that means our convention is in opposite direction with the main current. Hence while calculating the current through 3 ohm resistor, you have to use what? Negative sign. Okay. So if it is minus plus, no issues, you could have used positive sign itself. So this condition we have discussed in one of the earlier problem, right? So what you get is this result. So voltage across this will be what now? 3 multiplied by current. So what is the value? Minus 2.01. So now you add up all the results. First result was 4, second is 3, third one is minus 2.01. So what you get is 5.01. So hence we can say that we can verify the superposition theorem. So this voltage what we are getting 5.01, is it same or no what we got here? 5.01, right? So it was asked for around 10 marks. So you should be careful while solving these problems. So please make sure the answers are correct twice or thrice before writing it. Hardly it will take 1 minute. Okay. So is that clear now? So if any student has any doubts, so let me clear that. Then we can go to this. Okay, so I hope the things are clear. So second, see, look into the second question. What is being asked? Find the current in 5 ohm resistor using superposition theorem. So we have two 5 ohm resistors here, this 5 ohm and as well as this 5 ohm. Both 5 ohm resistor you have to consider. Okay, 5 ohm left side, 5 ohms right side, and also what we have is a dependent source. So whenever you have a dependent source, I have written a note here, you should not disturb the dependent source while solving with respect to superposition theorem. So that we have already seen in the theorem discussion, because it is dependent on some parameter called as Iy. Okay, so which are the independent sources, you keep them as it is. Okay, so if you use these independent sources as it is, so what you get is this network. So I am taking 12 volt is acting alone, 12 volt. So that means you have to open circuit this and you have to short circuit this. So what we get is this network, and here you can see it is a one complete loop, and as already a branch current Iy is mentioned, so the same branch current I can take it as a loop current, because it is a single loop, same current will flow everywhere, right? But let us assume that the current through both 5 ohms as I dash. So if you apply the KVL, what you will get is minus 12 5 times Iy plus 5 times Iy, this is Iy, plus 10 times Iy, it is the voltage source value, plus 5 times Iy. So if you solve for Iy, you will be getting 0.6 amperes. Okay, so what you can say, both 5 ohm resistors, in both 5 ohm left and right side, a current of 0.6 amperes is flowing. This is our first result. Second is, if you consider only 10 ampere is acting, if this is acting alone, then you have to short circuit both voltage sources. If you short them, what you will get is, so what is the meaning of if a current source is coming in between two mesh, what it is referred as, what it is called as, can anyone tell me?
Super mesh.
Super mesh.
Super mesh, very good. Okay, so if a current source is appearing in between two loops or two mesh, so that is called as super mesh. First step is what, you have to write the constraint equation. So how to write? I2 minus I1 will be equal to 10. Then second step is what, you have to remove the current source and you have to apply the KVL to the entire super mesh. Entire super mesh. So if you apply KVL to the entire super mesh, considering the current as I1 and I2 and Iy, what you will get is 5 times I1. Why this is I1? Because here in this loop we have assumed the current as I1, here we have assumed the current as I2. Okay, so you will get 5 I1 plus 10 Iy, this value, plus 5 I2. But what is Iy? Iy is I1 only. How? This you can observe in the given circuit itself, right? So where Iy is written, it is written here. So it comes in which loop? It comes under the first loop only. So hence I1 equal to Iy. Okay, so if you take that, what you will get is this equation. Okay, then similarly if you solve both constant equation and this equation, what you will get is two currents as I1 as minus 2.5, I2 as 7.5. So this is the current which is flowing in left side 5 ohm resistor, this is the current which is flowing in right side 5 ohm resistor. So similarly now what you have to do, you have to consider the third case, that is 20 ohm is acting now. Sorry, 20 volt source is acting now. That means you have to open circuit the current source and short circuit the voltage source. So here we had that one, right? So again, it is very much similar to the case one. You have to solve for Iy. You will get minus 1 ampere. So what you can say that in both resistors, minus 1 ampere current source is flowing. Next, what you have to do? You have to use the both results. 5 current through left side 5 ohm resistor, current through right side 5 ohm resistor. You have to sum all the results. First one we got it as 0.6 for both. Second is minus 2.5, 7.5. Third is minus 1, minus 1. So if you use the value, what you can say, in left side 5 ohm resistor we are getting this current, and in the right side 5 ohm resistor we are getting this current. Okay, so this you can conclude. So no need to again verify, just they have given, use the superposition theorem here. Okay, so is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about others? Don't keep ideal yourself. Is it superposition of all the A and B division students now? Yes, okay. So I am taking one more problem with respect to superposition theorem only, but with respect to AC circuits. Okay, so AC circuits, if you consider here, see now what is mentioned here, using superposition theorem find the current through Z3. So current through Z3 you have to find this current here. Okay, so they have given where Z1 is what, Z2 is what, and Z3 is what. So they have given the values in rectangular form. So all these are in rectangular form, x plus Iy. You can convert it to polar form. Polar form will be simple for calculations in some aspects, but here what you have to understand, if some impedance is given like 1 plus j1, means it is nothing but a combination of resistor and inductor if you get plus, whereas same as this one will be resistor followed by capacitor, because this will be represented as j omega L and this is like minus j omega C. Okay, this could be what now, a 1 ohm resistor followed by inductor. Okay, so here you can assume that. So again the same thing, you have to find current through Z3. How many independent sources are there? 2. So how many cases will be there? 2 cases. So if we consider the first case, I am taking is this source as active. If this source is active, then what I will get is I have to short circuit here, right? Once you short circuit this, what you will get is Z2, Z3 in parallel, and as well as what I have done is I have converted this voltage source and Z1 in series to a equivalent current source. So current source value you will get it as 7.01 at an angle minus 45 and in parallel with Z1. So how to do that? So this I is nothing but 10 at an angle 0 divided by what is the Z1 value? It is 1.414 at an angle 45. So if you do this, you will get this. Okay, so next, second, what you observe here, we observe that we want current through Z3, but Z1 and Z2 they are in parallel, right? So you can consider the parallel equivalents, the parallel equivalent value of Z1 and Z2. So this value comes out to be 1 at an angle 0. See, this is very simple, right? So 45 and minus 45 angles will get cancelled out, and what you have is around 1.4, that turns out to be as 1. Okay, so you can do it in calculator. Now what we want is current through this, so we can apply current division rule. So this current I am assuming it as I prime Z3. According to current division rule, what you can say, main current, this is the main current multiplied by your opposite resistance, this is the opposite resistance, divided by summation of the two. So if you do this, what you get is current through this is 2.5 at an angle minus 90. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Yes,
sir.
okay.
Good.
So please practice these problems. So now it will be a discussion, but you need to take calculator and practice. So while practicing, see, especially this problem, I would like you people to practice with changing the values. Like you just change one value, you will get plenty of change. If I make just 2 plus J2, you take it as an assignment or practice. So in your assignment separate notebook, what I have told you, put today's date and put whatever I am telling you, write it. So it will be verified. So don't say that it is not known. Everything is recorded. So it is there. Okay. So take Z1 as 2 plus J2 and practice. So second case now, if I consider this as acting now, so what I have to do, I have to short circuit this, right? And with the similar approach, what we did, again, convert this to a current source. I will get this with the arrowhead here because of the polarity, plus and minus. If it is there, means current source will be like this. Okay. Then what you get is this equivalent circuit. Then similarly, again applying current division method, what you get is the same result. Okay. I double prime is this. So if you add these two result, equation 2, if I say, and this one as equation 1, then what you get is you will get the result in rectangular form. So this is in rectangular form. Convert that into polar form. You put both results in examination. Okay. So evaluators, they will come to know. They can give you the marks. Okay. So this is how you have to carry out. So is that clear now? Okay, is that clear to everyone? Please reply back.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What about reply back and mute yourself, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Add votes or no? Okay. Okay, fine. You can mute yourself. So these three combination problems I have taken. Okay. So use the same methodology and practice for other problems from the question paper. Question paper, I have already given you the lesson plan. Question papers are there at the end. So please go through them and solve them. Okay. So next we'll take up the next one, that is the one more source. What we have is this. Okay. So this source, okay, sorry, I think this is repeated. Okay. So now we can take the problems related to reciprocity theorem. So if you consider the reciprocity theorem, what was the requirement? If you have some network, so if you have some network, so in this entire network, okay, so if you have some input here and within the network or outside the network, if you have some output, so what you have to do, you have to interchange. First you have to evaluate for this input, this is the output. Next you have to interchange the position of input and output, right? So this you have to make output, this you have to make input, and you have to verify whether both outputs are same or no. That is the meaning of reciprocity, reciprocal of the both, right? So now in this problem, what is the requirement? You have to find Vx. Where is that Vx? It is mentioned here. So it is mentioned across these 2 points. Voltage across those 2 points. It is not like there is a diversion. Okay. So this is a single branch. This is a single branch what we have. Okay. But out of that, in that branch, they need the voltage across this element only, that is minus J2 ohms. So if I make an observation, so this is the input current what they have given. Current is flowing like this. If I assume 2 currents are splitting from this end, I1 and I2. So what will be the voltage across minus J2 ohm? That will be current through J2 ohm multiplied by minus J2 ohm. So first you have to write down this observation. Okay. Next, see, I am just modifying the view. So they have given a current source entering like this, means you can see the arrow direction. Current is placed here, current source. So like this. So every other part is same. So what I require voltage across minus J2 ohms. So that means what I have to do, I have to calculate current I2, right? So this entire part, what I am highlighting or covering with this green color is nothing but I2. So J2 I am keeping it as it is. So how to find I2? So I2 is the current which is flowing in this branch, right? So again you can apply the current division rule here. So current division, what it says, main current multiplied by opposite resistance divided by summation of the resistance of that entire network. So main current is phi at an angle 90 multiplied by opposite impedance or resistance, sorry, impedance in this case. So this entire impedance to multiply phi plus j5 divided by summation of the entire impedance phi plus j5 plus 2 minus j2. Okay. So if you do this and calculate, you will get this part. And this part, if you multiply with 2 at an angle minus 90, what you will get is the voltage as 9.28 and 21.8. So next step, what you have to do, you have to apply the reciprocity theorem. So what is reciprocity theorem now? You have to interchange the source and the result, or input and output. So just keep them, see them parallelly, just interchange them. Okay. So that means this current source what I have to put it here in the place of Vx. So here I should get a current source with the same direction how it is flowing. Okay. So if you do this, then take the voltage source or Vx as the output parallelly to the left side. So here I should assume that across these two ends I should get Vx. Okay. So this is shown here. So just look into the first figure. So if you get this, then nothing is there in this theorem. Is that clear now to you? So just I will just try to write it here, the other circuit. Other circuit what we had a current source here like this, and this 5 ohm and this J5 was there, and 2 ohms followed by this capacitor. And here we calculated what Vx. What I am doing now, here I am putting, here I should put current source, move that parallelly. So you will get it here. So as a beginner, what I told, mark the points, something like AB. And here you can mark AB and CD. Across CD, what you should get is Vx. Here you should get current source. Just interchange and make sure that the directions are not interchanged. If you use with the downward direction, this will become a wrong. You may get the result, but polarity will change. So just follow the simple methodology. So this how I can write now. Here you can see this branch only, across this branch only we want the voltage. So this branch should be kept as it is. So if you take the other point, this 2 ohm is again comes in the same branch because now current source is connected across this branch. So this 2 ohm you can write it here. Then in parallel with that you can write minus J2 and this current source. Again the same thing, what we need, again we can apply the current division rule. So if you apply the current division rule, so what we get is the same thing, that is main current multiplied by means the current across this one I want. So I2 multiplied by this opposite 5 plus J5. This will give me the voltage across that particular impedance. So what I want is, the requirement is I need the voltage Vx. This can be found by current through that branch multiplied by impedance there. Impedance is 5 plus J5, this one. Okay. So what is the current flowing if I assume this as I2 and I1? You can name anything here, Ix or anything. Okay. So I have taken I2. So I2 will flow here to here and I1 will flow in this branch. Okay. So what is I2 now? I2 we want, so I2 means main current. Main current is this multiplied by opposite impedance. Opposite impedance is minus J2 divided by summation of the entire network impedance, that is 2 plus 5 plus J5 minus J2. Okay. So if you do this, what you get is this. So just verify whether result 1 and 2 are they same or not. 1 was also 9.28 at an angle 21.8 volts. This is also the same thing. Okay. Fine. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll take up last but one problem here. This is again with respect to reciprocity theorem only. See the question, how they are asking, show the validity of reciprocity theorem for AB and XY point. Where we have AB point, this is A, this is B point, and XY point. So here you should see here. So they will not mention where is the input and where is the output. So simply they have mentioned this. Okay. So if I consider I can see that the entire source, entire circuit is operated by this 50 volt source, right? So that means 50 is the input. Input is present across AB, and that means we have to take the output in that line XY. So XY is this associated with this branch. So the current will remain same. That means you have to find, instead of XY, it is same as if you find current through this 20 ohm resistor in that. Okay. So how to do that? Again, we have 3 loops. Apply the KVL to the 3 loops. You will get 3 equations, right? And 3 corresponding results also you will get. But what we want is XY, IXY here. So if I consider, they are just the points anyway. It is nothing but current through 20 ohm only. So direction is already mentioned like this. This is IXY. So you have to consider the loops. loop currents which are flowing in that branch. So we have I2 flowing like this and I3 in opposite direction. So you can see here I3 is flowing like this and I2 will flow like this. So how to define this current now? This will be nothing but I2 minus I3. So if you do that, I2 minus I3, what you will get is 1.25 amperes. And if you want the ratio V by IXY, that will be 40. So similarly, now what you have to do, you have to interchange. See, I have just modified the view here. So this is straight, I just straightened this, and this also I have added 10 and 10 as 20. So what I have to do, I have to interchange output and input places. Polarity you should not change. AB is plus minus, so take it parallelly. You will get 50 volts, X as positive, Y as negative. And how the current was flowing? Current was flowing from X to Y. So if you observe parallelly, that is A to B, right? So this current is nothing but here. This current is nothing but your IXY only. Okay. So what you have to do now? You have to find this current. This current, if you mark here, if you observe the loop current is flowing like this. So what you can say, IAB is nothing but minus I1. So if you find I1, if you multiply by minus, so you will get what now? IAB. So how to do that? Again, apply the KVL to the three loops. So we'll get three equations. So I hope now you are familiar to writing the equations. Next, what you get is we want I1 only. So I1, how much we are getting? Minus 1.25. What is IAB? Minus of I1. So that will be 1.25 amperes. So this result and this result both are same now. So hence we can say that for this given circuit, the reciprocity theorem is valid. Okay. So those statements you need to write. Okay. So is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about ideal sources who are not replying there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You should some energy. Okay. And mute yourself, please. Okay. Okay. So last one problem we'll consider and we'll conclude this. Okay. See, this is very important problem. So all these are from question papers only. Okay. So here what is mentioned, you have to find Ix and hence verify the reciprocity theorem. So first you observe this circuit. I want everyone to observe this circuit here for a minute. Okay, so first you observe here. Can I write the circuit like this? Just check. Here we have 4 ohm resistor. Here we have 8 ohm resistor. And this is a 10 ohm resistor. The Ix current is given like this. It is moving from top to down. That means plus and minus we can say. 6 ohm resistor is there and 2 ohm is there. And what we have is this voltage source is given somewhere here. So you can take it to the left side or right side, anywhere. So if I take it to the left side, so can I write like this? Okay. Are you getting this point, everybody?
Yes, sir.
See,
Yes, sir.
what we do in
Yes, sir.
theorem is we just interchange the input and output. So if they are in parallel, it will be very easy to you just to interchange. Okay. So if I want to interchange in the next step, I can directly take this here and I can directly take this current here. But similarly, if you do in other end, what will happen? Negative will come here, minus and plus. Are you all following this now? Instead of this,
Yes.
if I take it here, minus and plus will come. And if you take it here, so you have to write minus and plus, and current you should use it here in this direction. Current will be flowing in this direction for this case, in this direction for this case. Okay. So first, anyway, it will appear in the next part. First, what you have to do, as usual, with your conventions or convenient, you have to find Ix. So what is Ix? So I1, I2 and I3, they were not mentioned. So I can assume I1, I2 and I3. So according to the assumption, what I can make out is Ix is nothing but what? I1 minus I2. Because Ix is flowing from top to down. Same current in line with that is I1, and oppositely we are getting I2. Right? So Ix I can define. So once you apply KVL to the three loops, and if you calculate I1, I2 and I3, you can easily make out what is Ix. Ix will be I1 minus I2. See, while substituting these equations in the calculator, so better follow in the examination, better follow this method here. So put a box, put these things. What are the constant values here? You have 0, 0, 10, I1, I2, I3. You just put it I1, I2, I3. And what are the coefficient values? 22, minus 10, minus 8, minus 10, 18, minus 2. Again minus 8, minus 2 and 10. So in your calculator, it will be like A series, B, C and D series. A1, B1, C1, D1, A2, B2, C2, D2, A3, B3, C3 and D3. So everyone please follow this. It may take additional 10 seconds, but it will definitely fetch you the required marks. Okay. Because if you just miss one sign, instead of minus 8, if you put plus 8, entire value will change. You may assume that the result is correct. So in examination, please cross verify these values twice or thrice. Don't make hurry in finishing the examinations. Okay. Is that clear now? So now I will, what I will do is I will apply the reciprocity theorem according to this convention, first convention what I told. So that means I have just assumed that this voltage source, I have taken it here. So what current, and that current I should assume here only. So please be careful here. You should assume it here only. What will happen if I assume it here? Can anyone tell me? If I assume Ix here, what will happen in this way if I assume? So in that case, what will happen is Ix will become equal to I3. See, the conventions will change. So which side you are taking the source, that side only you put the response also. Okay. So I will get the direction of Ix like this, and how I3 is flowing in opposite direction. Hence, I can define Ix equal to minus I3. So this is very important here. So if you make out this, then it will be fine. So what you will get is 3 KVL equations as usual you have tried. Then calculate I1, I2, I3. But what is I3? what is Ix? It is minus of I3. So if you use that, what you will get is this one. Okay. So I want you people to try the other methodology also. So here we had a resistor, and here that 10 ohm is there. Here is there any resistor is there? No. Okay. Here also we have a resistor. So if I use minus and plus, so where I should assume the current should be assumed here in the Ix direction like this. So we have the loop current I3. So in that case, Ix will become equal to I3. Okay. Are you following this? What I'm telling now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please don't be lazy.
Yes, sir.
Read out the things. You have to practice. Okay. So while practicing this problem also, take it as a second assignment here. Interchange the values. You change the values 4 to 2, 2 to 1. Wherever you have 4 ohm, take the half values. Here we have 4 ohm, then somewhere here. Okay. You take here what we have is 3 ohms, then 4 ohm, then 1 ohm, and 5 ohms. Okay, and change the values also. 10 volts, instead of 10 volt, you double it, 20 volts, and check the values. Okay, so I'll just mention here, you take this as 2 ohms, 3 ohms, 4 ohms, 1 ohm, 5 ohm, and this one as 20, and check the result. Okay. Okay, are there any questions regarding these 6 problems what we have discussed? Okay, so how many are there? Okay, 70. Those who are active, please just raise your hands. $58, $60. Okay, out of 70 people, 60 are active. What about other 10s? Who is this Anis Tamboli? Are you not there? Ashish, Mubashirin, Pragati Raikar, Prajwal Pranesh. What you people are doing? Fernandez, Shahanna.
I'm there, sir.
So what I told you? What I asked you? Tunga, Sushma, Shraddha, Sahan. So you all will be made as absent. Ashish, Nikita, Rajwal. If you do not respond, you will be taken as considered as absent. What about others? Only 61, 63 now.